Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is some random clips from Dark Souls, all put together from a variety of different characters, which I'm entitling Random Souls, even though there is a certain thing you can do with randomizing your equipment that people call Random Souls. This isn't that, just to be clear. I'm also joined by my beautiful girlfriend.
Hello.
And we're just going to be talking about some random silly things, probably throughout the duration of this commentary. And I just have to put a little footnote here, folks. If you see the build that was in the girlfriend analysis video that I made, chances are it will have 230 stamina, which is an illegal amount of stamina. I had no idea about this, guys. I've been playing, low level for so long. I don't really know what a full stamina bar is supposed to look like. So I didn't notice. A lot of people pointed it out, and it's to do with the save editor stacking the Ring of Favour and Protection twice. I didn't change the stats, I didn't do anything. It's just a known fault with an early version of the editor. So just bear that in mind. It's not intentional, it's just the way it just turned out. But all of that stuff has now been fixed, so hopefully in future videos, once I've cleared out all the hard drive, which is the point of these videos, I won't have any of that shit on it.
Did you get told off by lots of people?
Not really told off, just people saying that the stamina bar it looked dodgy, and because I knew that I'd built that build, I thought, these people are just being stupid. I just thought they were, I built it, how can it be dodgy? The only thing I gave it on the editor was red cracked eye orbs, which have got nothing to do with your stats. But it turns out it doesn't really seem to matter, because his stats were duped. They were like doubled. You can only have 192 stamina at max stamina, and he had 230, which is just, it's ridiculous.
Oh. So this is a whole host of new things I don't understand. But...
Well, yeah, like my strength build, he had it as well, and I'd not even done it with him. Like, I don't know what it's almost as if putting the save in had just screwed a couple builds, and it made me very sad. But I've changed them, so it's all good. But this right here is me invading in the Royal Woods. I'm taking on a host and his phantom, and I have all the forest bros helping me in this moment in time. So this guy is extremely brave or stupid. I'll let you be the decider of which. And his host has got the Grant. He's one-handing the Grant. He's using Havel Shield. I'm using the Gold Tracer because this is my Pyromancy build. It's kind of just the ultimate invasion guy. He's using a really cheap main weapon. He's got a ton of different Pyromancers. I'm just trying to kill the host as best I can. So have you seen any invasions in this place before?
I think so. I think I've seen them be in the wood.
Well, there's two woods, but
well, they look like the others.
Well, they're actually the same place, really. It's just in different periods of time. So you are true, but this is an interesting character. This is my Karmic Justice build before I realised how to use Karmic Justice. Because what happens is the spell. You see how he's got that purple aura around him.
Yeah.
It's a spell where when I take so much damage in rapid succession, it releases a powerful, like, revenge attack. As me and that NPC get flattened. And the damage is modified by the weapon in your right hand. And I'm using a dagger, which is not a very good damage modifier, so you've got to really put on something different. But this looks like a new player in the forest, trying to do some PvP. He's still got his NPCs knocking about. He's swinging quite liberally with the one-handed there. And I have parried him. He's doing the two-handed as well, which he got me because of lag last time, but he didn't get me that time. And we get to stab him, which is always fun.
Yay.
Oh yay. So have you ever seen this place before?
Is this the place where I fought that big thing?
No, it's not. That's the asylum. This is the place that we did those live invasions, but now it's dark.
Ah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I'm up against a guy who's using the Dark Hand. He's using the same weapon as the last person that we fought. Sorry, I'm using the big old strength weapon, which is the Man Serpent Greatsword. It's kind of slow, but it's really powerful. And you can see this guy. He wants to get some parries on me. He's doing pokes. One thing about this place that you don't know is, do you know the lock-on, which helps you, keep view of your target? It doesn't work so great, so you'll notice that it keeps getting disengaged when we move apart from each other. And it can make fighting, see how it went then? it can make fighting a pain in the arse. It really can. But me and this guy are going back and forth with our heavy swords. I'm using a crystal one at this moment because I've got quite a lot of these swords, and the crystal adds a little bit of damage on it. It's the most powerful iteration of the sword, really. And me and this guy are just doing the whole running attacks on the great swords and the flips and the rolls and the attacks, and I managed to land him there, and I returned the bow. Oh,
Well
this
done, I'm proud of you for bowing.
this is him again. This is the same person. This is a completely different build. This is my Pyromancer build, which you're going to be seeing. We've already saw because you saw him in the woods, and because it was this guy, I ended up putting on a scythe so I could give him a weapon that wasn't a gold tracer, because a lot of people don't really like the gold tracer. Bloody hell, that one hurt. That was an obsidian greatsword. Ooh. Go for the jump attack. Ooh, get bored. This guy's got some high dex because that bow did quite a lot of damage.
What's the little purple thing?
He fired a poison arrow at me, so his arrow's got a little bit of shit on it, and he hit me with that, and if that fills up, I get poisoned.
How do you stop it filling up?
See, that was so silly just then. It goes down on itself, or you can use moss to get rid of it, you know, that cure poison. But if you were watching just then, I tried to parry a bow, which, not really the best thing you want to do. Like, at this point, this guy is trying to lure me into doing the moves that everybody does with these weapons, and I'm having a bit of trouble with the lock-on, and he's doing some great damage with his falchion, and then finishes me off with a bow. Really good fight. Kicked my ass.
Did you win the first time and he won the second time?
Yeah.
Did he bow? You bowed.
He might have done, but when I die normally, what I do is, the moment my character hits the floor, is a good transition to the next piece, because it's an impact and you're expecting the impact so that you don't notice the change. And this is me throwing fireballs like all I'm worth.
Or a lot of fireballs.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen you do fire before.
Well, that's what this character was supposed to be. This is quite old footage now. It was me using a dedicated pyromancer, but as we went over in that other video that you were with me on, when you do note but throw fireballs and combust and do firestorms and things, you get so many messages.
Do people not like the fire?
People hate the fire. People.
I don't like fire.
Well, I don't like fire when it's on me, but it's very fun on this game. It's just one of those things where, all you can do is spam the fireballs, or all you can do is use the build the way it was designed to be used. It's kind of silly, but it's Dark Souls, and
it's all silly.
Yeah, and this is me fighting with a hornet ring, which is another weapon or another item that people don't really like so much. I don't really mind it in invasions. I'm not the biggest fan of it in duels because it makes duels much shorter, but a lot of people only use it when they're using a weak weapon. Like, for instance, I'm using it on this fight in particular so I can do the animation, because it's a really cool animation, and you can't get it any other way. But
he's gold.
He is gold. That means he's a Sunbro, which is a covenant on this game that allows him to be gold. Just
I like
cool.
it, it's shiny.
But I just hit him with a combustion there as his buddy tries to heal him. And I get his buddy with a hornet backstab, which is 550 damage. So in the grand scheme of a hornet ring backstab, that is not the most dangerous one you're ever going to get hit with, as this guy bleeds me out. And you'll notice he's a running R1 kind of guy, but the problem is his spacing is not very good, so he's running past me, which might be lag, it might be a few things, but look at him. Every time, runs towards you, does the running attack. People like this are usually very easy to parry, but it's been a long time since I fought katanas on such a predictable katana user. Oh, maybe not. Like I say, I don't really know the date of this footage, it's all pretty old stuff. But that's the animation that I'm wearing the ring for. He does like the touches the face and then snaps the neck type thing.
What was that? What were you doing to him afterwards? Were you bragging?
I was waving him away. He was fighting with another guy against me. 2v1, so...
He was being unfair, that's okay.
Well, it's not a case of being unfair. He was just playing with his buddy, or doing whatever they were doing, and they both tried to kill me, and then I killed them, so instead I waved them off. Like, see you later, boys! And then this is in the forest, which, this is the other forest, although these guys do look very familiar.
How do you decide what clips to put together, or are they already, like, sorted, and you just put them on in?
Well, it's one of those things where some people will cherry pick, where they'll take the ones they think that they're the best or the most entertaining, or some ones will only pick the ones where they win. I literally put, as long as it's not boring, as long as it's not, 20 minutes of nothing, as long as there's something there that makes it worth watching, I'll keep it regardless of win or lose. At the beginning, when I started doing this, I put everything, because I wanted to give people a really honest interpretation of my progression of the game, because I started knowing nothing, being very bad, just kind of, I had knowledge, I just didn't have experience, and then hopefully after time there was a progression on that and I got better.
Is he doing cartwheels?
He is doing cartwheels, and he's also doing a ridiculous amount of cartwheels because unfortunately this person has got cheated stats. And,
Are you not meant to be able to do that many?
No, you're not supposed to have that much endurance, but this guy, you can tell by the sword he's using that something's wrong. And if you look up here in a moment, I'm going to get hit by his sword, and he only hits me one-handed with a crystal greatsword, which to me should maybe do about 100 damage. Maybe not even that, because it's not a powerful weapon, but watch when he hits me with this. So, I'm looking for a backstab, I don't get it. You see that? Go for a parry, miss it. So he can three-piece me with this weapon. I have 1800 life. And then he does his, I'm very happy with the fact that I cheat weapons into the game move, which is great. But some folk do that, and a subscriber of mine called Hero has recently updated my save editor so I don't have this problem with the ring stacking, so I can make builds really fast. And there's a section on this editor, my lovely, that's just, it's so much bullshit, and I hate people for doing it. There's about 20 items, and they're all modded. They're all items that should not be able to be upgraded, items that should not be able to be altered at all, that have been altered, so that they're just completely unbalanced and unfair. And it's really sad that that stuff's there, because like people don't like divine blessings and stuff like that, and I can understand those, but they don't have that much of an effect when it comes to, when you and a dude are attacking each other. If he starts using divines, he's probably not that good of a player, because he's doing anything he can to win in a 1v1, and it's a kind of silly, really. You can take it as a novelty thing. But when you're fighting a guy who can kill you with one backstab off a weapon that shouldn't be, it just really, it's just sad, because at this moment in time on Xbox, it's getting to the stage where the invasions are quite slow, because a lot of the people that were playing have stopped playing, they've moved on. So you spend 10 to 15 minutes getting in a fight for a guy to stab you with a modded weapon.
That's insane.
And like, it doesn't even matter what you believe at that point. Like, oh, that was fun.
It's just a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not honour at that point. It's not who's better or ego or kill to death ratio or any of the things that people like to blame it on. It's just, it has to be a young kid who,
who really, really needs to win, or
yeah, who's
because who's that even fun for?
Exactly.
If you're finally getting a game, because obviously it's presumably the same on their end, that they've waited 15 minutes to get into a game, for it then to be over in one hit because they've got a stupid weapon.
It's that super excited, oh, I'm gonna win, I won. That young kid in you. Because who knows how old some of these people are that we're playing? We don't know. They could be 10, they could be 8. But it's that excited kid that doesn't really see the morality of cheating, who's just trying to win. Like, there might be a clip on this, I don't know if it's on this one, it might be on a different one, where I take on a guy in Anno Londo, and he's using Elizabeth's mushrooms, which is another healing item that people don't really like. We're also using that sword that I fought in the forest, that really powerful sword, and I beat him. And I didn't get the good one because I wasn't recording, which is just ironic. But I got the ones after because I realised I could get some funny stuff with him. And he didn't realise he was doing anything wrong. Like, he thought everything he had was fine. It was just in Dark Souls. And it really wasn't. And when I said it to him, he was like, oh, somebody dropped it me. Like, that makes it any more different to because, like, people drop me stuff all the time. It still means that item has been duped or it's been taken from somewhere else.
But if you don't know...
Carry on, my lovely.
If you don't know, like, how new would you... Like, for example, if somebody gave me something and I was playing, I wouldn't know what it meant or what it did or what it's meant to do.
Yeah, but when you're hitting a boss 30 times to kill it, this is him. And somebody gives you a sword that kills it in one swing, You don't see something wrong with that?
Well, for me, no, because I wouldn't know.
But
I'd just think that's a super awesome sword that someone's...
But you've probably already got that sword and it never did that damage before, and the sword you have is one of the best in the game, yet it doesn't do 1/millionth of the damage that you're doing with this new sword.
See, I suppose as well I'm missing the whole thing of Dark Souls is kind of a niche community, and the fact that most people that game casually probably... Because I'm thinking of it from my mindset, where if someone gave me a sword and all of a sudden it was an awesome sword, I would not consider anything at all.
Yeah.
Because I just wouldn't know that...
That's fair.
Although I do know, obviously, that you can change weapons.
So, I threw a Lloyd's at this guy, so we can't use his flask. Watch what he does. He's so good. If this is the clip. I think this is... Watch him. Watch him. There you go.
Is he trying to do it?
No, he used a mushroom instead. One of those mushrooms he said his mate dropped him. But carry on, sorry.
Yeah, so like, I just wouldn't think of it. Because I know people can alter things in games, but I just...
Well, it's nice that you don't think of it, because you shouldn't have to.
I'd just be like, oh cool, I've got this sword that does it really easy. This is it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. You know, if there was a weapon that was literally that powerful, but it was ridiculously hard to get, I wouldn't mind at all. Because on Demon Souls, there's a weapon called the Northern Regalia, which is effectively the same. It's a super powerful sword that's ridiculously powerful on that game. But it at least takes a playthrough to get it. You have to try it. You have to at least earn it. But this is completely different.
That's what I mean. This guy playing is not going to be
so this
some guy that only plays FIFA, is he? They're not the sort of people that play Dark Souls.
Oh, I don't know. He might
Generally.
be. I like to think if you invested any time in Dark Souls, you would have noticed that there's something wrong with that sword. Because you should not be able to do the damage it does. He could one-shot people in the forest with backstabs, and nothing can one-shot you. Like, you can't one-shot those people.
If I was playing, unless somebody said to me, you're not meant to be able to do that, I wouldn't know any different. I'd just be like, oh, I miss. Look, stabby, they're dead. You know what I mean? I genuinely wouldn't think anything of it.
It's one of those things where I don't think I can ever understand that because I'm too deep. So your perspective is good because you've got that perspective. I don't. Like, I can't imagine it at all.
That's the thing. If I got a message or two saying, like, how the hell did you do that? That's not meant to happen. I'd obviously then be like, oh, maybe it's a funky one.
Well, which makes that guy even better because in those fights we saw then, that was after I messaged him and told him that he shouldn't have what he had.
And he was just like, someone gave it me, it's fine.
Yeah, I said to him, those mushrooms, you can literally get like 3 a playthrough. They're very difficult to get. And in one fight, he used about 6 of them against me. So I was just saying to him, like, dude, who gave you those? Because a lot of the editors don't even have them. And they're like, oh, I didn't realise that you weren't supposed to. And I'm like, well, it's just one of them things. Like, you don't really see that many of them. And then in the next fights, you continue to use them. So even after I put out there that perhaps it's something you might not be wanting to use, because I never said to him, don't use them. I just like, dude.
A lot of people are not like that.
Well, I just literally said, that sword and those items are modded, because you can't... Well, you can, it's just... I'm trying to think, that would literally be... Like, you get 3 a turn. 10 playthroughs, you get 30. That is more playthroughs than... I mean, it's completely doable, but at that point, you're spending over 100 hours getting those mushrooms to the amount that he was using. Like, you can get 9...
Which seems silly when you would think by 10 playthroughs through, you would be a better player enough to not need to use 6 in one fight.
Exactly. And that was the fun thing about that fight, because when I was sending him these messages and we were fighting, he was sending me messages asking what sword was I using. You know, when I beat him. It were not because I were necessarily using a good sword. It was just that mentality, because he's new of, he beat me with this sword must be good. When he has a weapon that can kill anything.
Which kind of says to me he's probably a lot more used to the bashy, or your sword is better, therefore you've won, as opposed to you're a better, more skilled player.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And every single time we fought and I swapped my weapon, he asked me, what weapon was that? And I was using Wrath of God on that build, which is a spell. And he were asking me, what do I need to use that magic bomb type thing, you know, not even using the name of it. So it's obvious that he's a new player and he doesn't have that level of knowledge yet of the game.
Google is your friend.
Google is definitely your friend, but somebody drops you this really good sword and these fantastic items.
It's nice that he was trying to find out and he was trying to ask. He was probably maybe asking the slightly wrong questions, but at least he wanted to know.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first fight, were like, who is this dick? Like, what the fuck is this? But by the 4th and 5th fight, it was just funny because he didn't know how to fight. So it was almost, yeah, it was that moment when you start feeling sorry for this person who's cheating.
I don't know.
And it was just really strange. And I wish I'd have got that first fight because it was hilarious. Like, he was using so many of those mushrooms and I just kept backstabbing him and parrying him. And mushrooms, mushrooms, mushrooms. And then he stood still, so I stood still and I shrugged. And then I saw his weapon change and he swapped it to the modded one. I'm like, oh, I know what you want now. And he ran straight at me and started swinging his sword and I parried him. And he got back up and started swinging again, and I parried him. It was Laurel and Hardy. It was the dumbest shit you've ever seen.
So it was like, I'm not winning, I'm going to get my fucking sword.
It was literally, this weapon is super good, I'm going to run at him now and press one button till he dies. And he didn't die. But I wasn't capturing because I'd got it hooked up to my PlayStation because I was recording Last of Us. And it was so sad.
It's almost sweet.
Yeah. Like this interesting fellow here. I'm invading him. He doesn't use his Estus Flask to heal. He uses a Humanity, which is an interesting thing to see. He's using a spell called Pursuers, and this.
Is that purple stuff?
That is that purple stuff. Yeah. I'm using a build that I've designed to go through the game with the least ease. The most ease. Sorry. Which means this thing with a tin catalyst has got about 12 casts of a spell that's ridiculous against bosses. And this is New Game Plus 9, New Game Plus 10, something like that. So my guy he's so level 120, he's got ridiculous amounts of Dark Bead, and I'm using him for a purpose, but these are some of the invasions I tried with him. And the spell that this guy has, I don't understand how it was left in the game. Like, I don't understand how people didn't realise that there was a problem. So this is it. Do you see that spell there?
Yeah.
From that distance, it did 300 damage because it hit him with, 1 or 2 bits,
Yeah.
which is not so bad. If it was used at full range like that all the time, it'd be balanced. But do you see what it did then?
950.
A little bit different, into it, and that wasn't even a full shot. If I hit him at point blank range, I can one-shot him.
That seems...
It's disgusting, but it's in the game. It's one of these things you see a lot. This was interesting too. Did you see what he did then?
No.
In the middle of a fight, he went to use a miracle, but I think he had the wrong one equipped. So instead of doing something, to attack me, he started healing, and he had full life. So mistake were made on his behalf.
Oh, bless.
This is the final clip of the bunch. This is the lag that I was facing when I said the game was unplayable. Watch the dead angle WOG, viewers, as I get flattened there, which is always fun to see. So, go for a parry, miss the parry. Nothing really going. Pull the WOG out. Watch this. No flinch, no damage. There's the damage.
From
the spell. Yep. And he stood up after he was dead, and then died again. So that is
Silly.
one of the most insane bits of connection I was having that day, because every fight was like that. I was Wrath of Godding people and they weren't moving, and it's just taking on 2 or 3 people where I'm trying to Wrath of God to backstab. It's just not working, and I'm getting backstabbed from a mile away. I'm getting hit by spears when I'm 10 feet away. I'm gonna stop playing. But that is the end of Random Souls, a nice collection of just the last vestiges of things on my hard drive. So thank you for watching, and you take care now.